Don't think just because of where you come from or where you are right now, don't think that you're not the type of person who can make money. You're not the type of person who can be successful. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna film a video that has been very highly requested. In a way, I was avoiding it or hesitating on making this video just because I feel like I need to know everything before I let you guys know. But what I've come to realize is as you grow in business, you learn more. So who knows, maybe in a year I can make an update video or something like that. But I do know enough to share with you guys how I started my own business and what it's like to work independently or be a business owner. Before I get started, I do want to say that if you're not subscribed to my channel, then please take a moment to subscribe. I upload lots of videos like this, as well as in-salon haircut and color tutorials, vlogs, makeup, everything. Just subscribe, you won't regret it. So I think that when people hear that I'm a salon owner, they think of a huge salon that I have with all these employees and everything like that. Businesses can range from so many different sizes. Like me, I work strictly by myself. I do have people come in and work with me as independent contractors, but I do work by myself. I do not have any employees. I'm one person and I'm a business owner. I am a business. I work by myself. I'm a business owner. I'm a sole proprietor. I also wanted to start by giving you guys a little bit of background about myself and give you guys the cliff notes of my story. Just a little mixed girl from Los Angeles, California, born and raised. I grew up poor, and then as I got older, like high school, I kind of moved up to middle class, upper middle class, because my mom worked her way up. She had to hustle, and that's kind of where I get my work ethic from. Growing up as a kid, I was made fun of because I was poor, so my outfits and everything were poor. That made me get into fashion. I would cut my own clothes, I would make my own clothes and do all that kind of stuff. If you guys don't know, I'm half black and half white, and the way I got into doing hair was because my hair was so crazy and unruly. My mom is white, and my dad would be helpless when it comes to hair, but my mom didn't know how to do my hair. And also I had an extremely sensitive scalp, so anytime she would do my hair, I would scream bloody murder. Literally, if you were my neighbor, you would think that I would, like, that somebody was murdering me, alright? So it got to the point where my mom was like, you know what, do your own hair. And that started at about the age of like 7 or so. And that's when I kind of became obsessed with hair because I liked doing my hair and learning and trial and error, and then I became good at it. I liked doing all my friends' hair throughout high school, middle school, all of that kind of stuff. I was always that friend that was into hair and makeup. So finished high school. The whole time my parents were telling me, you should go to beauty school, you're really good at it. But all my friends were going off to college, and I'm like, I don't want to be a hairdresser, that's for losers. And that was my mentality at the time. Sometimes I feel like when you go to a trade school, when you go to school to be a mechanic, or you go to school to be a hairdresser, you go to school to be a plumber or something like that, I think a lot of times society might look down on that profession and think that, like, oh, well, you're down here and I'm up here, that's so blue collar. But the thing is, first of all, everybody needs a hairdresser, everybody needs a mechanic, everybody needs a plumber. People who know trades will always have a job, whether you're working in a salon or at a auto shop or whatever, or whether you're working independently. Somebody will always need their car fixed, somebody will always need their toilets plunged. Not just that, when you do a trade, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit when you are good with your hands. So I went to community college because all my friends were going to college, so I figured that's what I was supposed to do. Went there, took classes, dropped out, worked. I was kind of like trying to find myself, also spent a little bit of time being depressed, not getting out of bed, not going to class, doing that whole thing because I was pretty much lost in the world. Eventually I got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I think I was 20 years old at the time. I'm like, you know what, I am actually sick of feeling like a loser. I'm sick of going nowhere. And I'm gonna go to beauty school. So next day, went to beauty school, signed up, never looked back. I finished beauty school, and then I instantly got a job in a salon, high-end salon, Santa Monica, California. So I was an assistant to the salon owner and pretty much everybody in the salon. I also worked as a receptionist there. I'm super grateful that I was put in that position because not only was I getting better at doing hair, but I was also learning the business side of the salon, how everything works, how to book clients, and I was kind of learning basically the ins and outs of the salon. It's not that I wasn't happy with what I had, it's just, or I didn't appreciate, or I'm like, this sucks, or whatever. I just felt like, okay, I know this, I've conquered this, okay, now what's next? When I left that salon, I worked at 2 different salons as a stylist. So I worked on a commission basis, and I will admit, I have personality traits such as, like I said, I always want to grow, I always want to expand. I also have the personality trait of needing to be in control. I think I have great ideas. When I witness other people and their ideas that I don't think are great or that I know don't make money or just don't make sense, it's like, it makes me cringe, okay? I can't stand it. I have just something in me that knows like, that works, that doesn't work. I know how to make a client experience amazing. I know what a good haircut looks like. I know what good hair color looks like. I know what good business practices are. I know what legal business practices are because of my background. Another thing I want to say about legal things, if you are going to be a business owner or if you are going to work independently, you have to, number one, know your rights for your sake, but also know the laws within your state or whatever, so that way you don't get caught up in illegal business practices, because it's very easy to one, be taken advantage of, and don't ever think for a second that people do not want to take advantage of you or that they're not taking advantage of you just because they're nice to you, they're your friend, or whatever. Know your rights. Always know your rights, girls, especially for stylists. This is so important because in the beauty world, in the world of being an independent contractor, you have to know your rights so you don't get screwed over. One amazing website that I went to that I learned a lot about the legal things of being an employee or an independent contractor or a booth renter or business owner at a salon is called thisuglybeautybusiness.com. I suggest going there if you do hair or anything like that, so that way you know your rights, and also just research your state's laws. So yeah, after I left the salon in Santa Monica, I worked at 2 different salons. Didn't work out for me, and I would even interview at different salons, and then because I started to know more about the business side, and I would ask them on the interviews, not straight up like this, but basically, what do you have to offer me, or how do I get paid, whatever. And the way that things were, I was like, why would anybody want to work for you? You know? It just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of the BS. I'm sick of giving somebody half of my money and then like struggling basically. And it's annoying, and I'm sick of living my life like this. So I just got to a point where I was really like, oh my gosh, like, did I choose the wrong career path? Should I go back to the salon in Santa Monica? Like, what do I do? What's the meaning of life? What does this all mean? Another tip, it's always great to have friends within your same industry. So way back, okay, when I was still in beauty school, I made a friend when I worked at Ulta Beauty. I was a prestige consultant at Ulta Beauty. I made a friend there. She was an esthetician. I wasn't licensed at the time, but she was an esthetician, and I kept in touch with her throughout the years, and she opened her own business in a salon suite setting. So I hit her up like, hey girl, my life is falling apart. Can you help me? I don't know how it is in every state, but basically in a salon suite setting, you have a room. It could be a big room or a small room. Mine is small, but it can be like a whole salon. So it could be like up to a 5-chair salon, but it's just one building with like, this is a 5-chair salon, salon. This is 2 chairs. This has 1 chair, and it's all people who do like hair, skin, or nails. She's like, yeah, there are nights when I cry myself to sleep, but it's so worth it. She literally said that, and it's funny because I'll always remember that, because there are nights when you cry yourself to sleep. I haven't cried myself to sleep, but I have cried. I decided I'm no longer going to work at any other salon. I'm gonna have my own business, okay? I started working out of a salon suite, which is where I am at currently, and I feel like a lot of beauty professionals are starting to move toward the salon suite aspect of the business, because I know mostly about the beauty world. I know how it works, and I feel like it's because it's very hard nowadays to, one, be a business owner, a salon owner, and have several employees. It's also hard to be an employee at a salon. There's just a lot of that goes into it, and I feel like a lot of people are moving into working independently, which I think is great, which I think is amazing. I love small business. I love entrepreneurs. Some of you guys have asked me questions on Snapchat, and so I created a list in my phone of subjects that I did want to touch on. Somebody actually asked me today, did you go back to school to get a business degree in order to be an owner? No, you don't need a business degree in order to be a business owner at all. You can learn things by going to the library and checking out a book and reading it, okay? Go to Barnes & Noble, go to Amazon, order some books. We have the internet now. There's so much information out there that you can learn. And I'm not saying if you want to be a brain surgeon or something like that, then just go practice on some, like, I don't know, whatever. Of course you need to go to school for that, but I'm saying depending on what you want to do, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to be an entrepreneur, no, you do not need to go to school. Now, if you have the time and the money to go to school to take a couple business classes or whatever, then absolutely, I'm not against that at all, because knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you grow. I didn't go to school for business. Anything that I know business-wise is because of experience, is because of knowing the people that I know and reading the materials that I have and doing my own personal research. Any old random person on the street who has a couple bucks in their pocket can technically start a business, but I wouldn't suggest doing it without knowing laws. I also wouldn't suggest doing it without doing some sort of research. You do need money to start a business, all right? You don't need a lot, and some people might say, well, how much do you need? Like, there's this X amount of money that you need to start a business. But that's all a matter of perspective, because I could have done a build out and opened a 10-chair salon, and I would have needed like $500,000 or something like that. Or I can go to a salon suite, or it doesn't have to be a salon suite. There are like storefronts out in the world, like out in Los Angeles, out in wherever you live. There is an empty storefront. It could have been, I don't know, it could have been a cafe before they went out of business. They don't live there or work, whatever. Their business isn't there anymore, and you could rent a storefront and say it's, I don't know, $1,000 a month to rent it. It's just like renting an apartment in a way. It's $1,000 to rent it. So you have to do your research. Where do you want to work? If you rent somewhere, so say you rent this storefront or whatever across the street, it's $1,000 a month. How much does it cost for water? How much does it cost for utilities, for electricity? How much electricity are you going to be using? What kind of chairs are you going to buy for your salon or restaurant, whatever? So you kind of have to gauge, how much do I need to start my own business? And again, a business can be anything. You could be selling handmade, like, I don't know, bracelets on Etsy. How much will it cost you to buy this material to make the bracelet? How much will it cost you to have your photo shoots professional? How much will it cost you to build a website? You kind of have to do the math for yourself depending on what your business is. I will say that it does cost money. Now, you can go to the bank and get a business loan, or you could be Donald Trump and your father could give you a small loan of $1 million. Another great thing about this day and age is that we have the internet. For me, if you guys remember, I started a GoFundMe, and I was able to get about, I want to say maybe like $2,000 or so, and that definitely helps. It's not a ton of money, but it's something. $2,000, I mean, just think about it. Think about the chair I'm sitting on, how much did this cost? Think about the refrigerator I had, how much did that cost, you know? So if you're starting a business, again, it all depends on what you're doing. But again, we have great websites such as GoFundMe. I think there is one called Kickstarter.com, which is specifically marketed for people, creative individuals who would like to start their own startup business. You don't need a small loan of $1 million to start a business. You guys just have to have the vision, and you have to be able to put in work, okay? Putting in work. Let's get into that. Why are you starting your business? Are you starting your business because you're like, oh, I want to make a ton of money? Okay, let me tell you straight up off top, starting a business isn't just like, oh, I'm balling, I'm rolling in money, rolling in dough, whatever you want to call it. I started my own business because I had a vision, and you know how I would split commission. My thing wasn't like, I want to keep all my money, because even though now I don't have to pay anybody anything and I do keep all my money, I have to think about taxes. I have to think about my overhead. I have to think about if something breaks in here, I need to replace it. Being a business owner isn't cut out for everybody. And you're not just gonna be right away just like making a ton of money, because there's so many things that I need to purchase weekly. Like every glove I use, every processing cap, every bottle of shampoo, every towel, every cup of coffee comes out of my pocket, okay? And if you work at a salon where all you do is go in, take your clients, give them 50%, that 50% is going towards the lights, is going towards that cup of coffee that your client just had, the cup of coffee you just had, okay? So you have to think about that, like the percentage that you're paying like for a company, or that you're giving to a company, like they are making it easy, or they're making it a possibility for you to come into work and not have to worry about anything. Or else if you work at a clothing store, if I have to pay for this rent and whatever this space, and if I'm buying these clothes wholesale, how much should I sell this for? So you have to be good with numbers and basically figure out, how much am I putting into my business? How much am I getting out? And it has to, you can't just pour money into a business and not get anything out. Although during the first couple months to a year, or maybe the first couple of years of running a business, it's not, like I said, you're not going to be rolling in dough. It's not just going to be like growing on trees and whatever. You're going to put a lot of money into your business. Your business is your baby, and you have to be prepared for that. This is not for the faint of heart, okay? Another thing about owning your business is that you have to be responsible in terms of your insurance, like your personal health, dental, whatever insurance, and also your taxes. You have to be wise with money, and remember, whatever you take, say I make $100, you have to put 20% of that away, so that way at the end of the year when you do your taxes, you have the money to pay for your taxes, since it's not being taken out of your check or your payments each time. In terms of security and deciding whether owning a business is right for you or not, you have to think about this. The thought of failure is what's very scary to some people. It's like, well, what if my business fails? Then what? Then what am I gonna do? And like, how am I gonna do this and that? But you have to think about, this is what the way I think about it too, is just, look, okay, something could happen tomorrow and this building could burn down. God forbid. I wake up and I thank God every day for my hands and for my physical health and ability, because if something were to happen, I break both of my hands, God forbid, please don't let that happen. But if that did happen, I'm out of a job, I can't work, I can't whatever, you know? So that part is scary for me. However, at the same time, nobody could ever fire me. When I used to work in retail, it's like, oh, the regional manager, whatever, the regional manager is coming today, he's gonna check up on, you know, you kind of have to, the thing is, when you're an employee and you're scared like that because the regional manager, general manager, whatever, is coming in and like, whatever, like, I get it, like, oh, make sure everything's clean and up to par. When you're a business owner, you should do that for yourself anyway. No, I don't have anybody coming in here making sure like, oh, are you smiling at clients? Are you saying thank you? Are you answering the phone properly? I don't have anybody telling me to do that, but I do that for myself. And if you want to be a successful business owner, then you have to hold yourself accountable. Literally, I could come to work in my pajamas if I wanted to. I could I could do anything I want. I could look however I want. I could wear whatever I want. I could speak however I want. I can curse somebody out. Literally, I can do that if I wanted to, but I don't because I hold myself to a certain standard, because I care about my business and everything I wear, like the way I look, the way I speak, the way I conduct business, the way my salon looks, the cleanliness, the beverages that I serve, whatever is the products I use, it's all a reflection of my business. So no, I don't have somebody coming over, you know, like just micromanaging me or telling me what I can and can't do, or can and can't say. Did you smile today? Smile more. Did you tell them about the promotion we have going on? I don't have somebody telling me that, but I say that to myself, so I don't live in fear of like, oh, I'm gonna get fired today, or they're laying people off or whatever, because I work for myself. I'm my own boss and I hold myself accountable. Another thing to consider if you're thinking about becoming a business owner is that your work doesn't really end. When I used to be an employee, I would go to work, say 9 a.m., clock in, do my work there, whatever, 5 p.m., clock out. I'm free. Nobody's gonna call me, nobody's gonna text me. And I know everybody's job is different, but I'm just saying, nobody's gonna call me, nobody's gonna text me. I don't owe you anything if I'm off the clock. Even if I'm not dealing with clients, I'll be at home on my laptop, like, okay, I'm gonna order these supplies, I'm gonna research this, I'm gonna do, like, you're always like working and working. But if you love your business and this is your baby, then it makes it easy. On more of a personal level, you need to know that when you start your own business, your social life may suffer a little bit. I literally only go out now if it's a special occasion, and even that's kind of pushing it. It has to fit into my schedule. If there's something happening and it seems fun and everything like that, I'm like, look, I can't be hungover tomorrow. I have a client at 9 a.m. I have to order these supplies, whatever. But again, if you love your baby, your business, then it kind of has to balance out. But I will suggest, always don't become a workaholic. It's easy for me to become a workaholic, and it's like I always say like, oh, I'm crazy, because it's like, oh, I'll get an idea and I'm like, what is this? Or let me get this for this salon, or let me start doing this. Or I'm just like, like my brain doesn't turn off. I can't relax. I cannot relax. I can't relax. It's hard for me to, if my friends were like, oh, let's go do a spa day tomorrow, if it's not on my designated day off, I can't do it. So because I know that I have that kind of like intense, like workaholic kind of thing within me, I designate one day off, one day only, and that's Sunday. I don't answer any emails, don't answer any phone calls, don't answer any texts. But that's the great thing also about being a business owner, is that I pretty much have the freedom to basically make my own schedule. And if I decided, you know what, I want to go to Hawaii next month for a week or whatever, I would obviously plan my clients out and be strategic and also tell them and whatever, but I can do that. I don't have to request time off or tell anybody or worry about like, oh, well, if I leave, like, is something gonna go wrong? Does somebody need to email me? Like, I don't have to worry about that kind of thing. It's just like, I want to go, I'm gonna go. That's it. I hope I answered a lot of your questions, but the biggest thing that I want you guys to take from this video is that you have to find what path is right for you and what kind of situation is right for you, because it's your life and you need to be happy. If you feel like you are happiest in a scenario where you're working for a big corporation and you're an employee, or maybe your salary, whatever, hourly, sourly, if you have great benefits at your job and everything like that, and you're happy, you're able to create the life for yourself that you want, then stay there. Why not? If you're happy doing it, of course, do whatever makes you happy. But if you're kind of a social misfit like I am, and it's hard for you to be in that kind of environment like it was for me, there's so many things out there. Like, the internet is so amazing. I'm so happy to be a part of this generation. I mean, for the most part, there are some things that I don't like, but that's another video. The internet is amazing. Like, look, I started a YouTube channel and I'm able to talk to you guys about this kind of stuff, and you can use the internet to start a business. You can learn whatever you want on the internet. There's so much information out there. Our generation is amazing because we're doing things for ourselves, and so I feel like we're getting creative because we kind of have to, and because we can. We have so many resources nowadays, and that's great. Yeah, just find what's right for you. This is not for everybody. Just like being an employee is not for everybody. Just like going to college is not for everybody. So for my entrepreneurial girls out there, one book that I love that was very inspiring to me is by Sophia Amoruso. She is the founder of nastygal.com, and the book is called Girl Boss. That book was very inspiring to me because I feel like she and I kind of had similar backgrounds. Don't think just because of where you come from or where you are right now, don't think that you're not the type of person who can't become a success, or you're not the type of person who can make money. You're not the type of person who can be successful. You're not the type of person who can run a business. I'm only good creatively. I'm really not academic by any stretch of the imagination. I'm very intelligent, but I do have trouble concentrating. I would get D's, F's, like fail everything pretty much. You can make a life for yourself outside of the system. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I was just a matted hair little mixed girl growing up in LA who had to wear Payless shoes and flooded pants and shoes with holes in them. Later on in life, I was just a major pothead, and I think I'm doing pretty well for myself now, and I'm just getting started. Anyway, I hope I answered a lot of questions for you guys. If you guys have any questions at all, then comment down below, and then I'll try to reply to all of them, or maybe, who knows, I'll make another video. But yeah, follow your dreams, you guys. Stay focused and have faith in God, and that He will guide your life, because He does love you, He does care, and everybody has a purpose. Okay, you don't have to come from money to make it. You do not have to come from money to make it. Get creative, be innovative, be consistent, be strong, be wise, and don't stop. Grind. So again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, then definitely subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and you guys will be seeing me in my next video. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.